everyone. Welcome to the Love to Live Healthy show. I'm Josephine Fitzpatrick, author of Cheat Day Rules and my new book, Shed the Pounds, Navigating Weight Loss Through Perimenopause and Menopause. Both available on Amazon or right now through our publisher, bookbaby.com. I'm a weight loss nutrition specialist for over 15 years, and I work with thousands of clients all over the world. I own Innovation Healthy Market at 8025 Jericho Turnpike, Woodbury, New York, where for the last 12 years we sell hundreds of prepared snacks. We are open to the public 7 days a week. You do not have to be a client to shop in our store. We have customers from all over Long Island visit our store every day, and we ship tri-state. We also offer free Long Island delivery every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and we hand deliver to New York City every Tuesday. We are on Uber Eats 7 days a week. So if you are looking to lose weight or just eat, visit our store. Everything is made fresh daily, and we carry everything from high protein, low carb, gluten-free, sugar-free, plant-based, vegan, keto, and our famous detox. Someone is always available to help you at the store. They will hold your hand to help you get what you need, so please do not hesitate to ask them when you walk in. For more information on our store, delivery, shopping, and weight loss, visit our website at innovationhealthymarket.com or check out our Instagram at Innovation Weight Loss. Today I'm here with Jake Fitzpatrick. Good morning, Jake.
Good morning.
And today's episode is when life feels hard, you have to keep going. Sometimes it is unbearably hard for all different reasons, and all different people have all different situations. But you have to keep going.
Have to.
Right?
Yep. What other choice do you have?
Well, let's not go there.
Just be sad all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. But no, I want you to start about this because I want to hear what you have to say, actually.
Well, I think that, what happens with people is, again, a lot of the time it does fall into the mindset. Like life, something happens, and you just feel like everything's going wrong. And it could be one situation in a day. It could be a week. It could be, months for some people. Things just don't go right. And when you're living in that mindset of like, it's just not going right, nothing's really going right for me. And then I really am a big believer in the universe. And I believe that when you do that, that's what you get. It's like the law of attraction. You put out that, and that's what you're going to get back,
Yeah.
And again, I don't think that sometimes we go about things the right way. We look at things in life, like even with this, and again, of course, we're going to bring up Ozempic or any GLP-1. But my point is, everyone's looking, going, oh, it's so easy to do that. Should I do that? I'm thinking of going on that. Should I do that? But because they're not looking at the side effects. But you know what? If you looked at, like, I have one client, I'm not going to say her name, even though she told me to quote her, but because I'm not sure if she meant quote her or say her name and quote her.
No, definitely not. Yeah.
But like she was saying, like she really has gotten into exercise now. And it's not who you think. I know who you think. Yeah. Oh,
yeah,
good.
I know.
So she's really gotten into exercise.
I can tell.
You can tell, right?
Can tell.
Yeah, she looks amazing.
Yeah.
And she's always done the program, but now with the exercise, and she is in like the perimenopause stages of her life, and it's really taken effect on how she looks. She looks amazing. But she said to me, she was like, I used to dread it, and now I embrace it. I love it. Like, I love the feeling of it. I love the feeling of being strong. She goes, it's not even about the scale anymore.
Yeah.
Where she started because she wanted it to help the scale. Mm-hmm. Now she's fallen so in love and embracing it that it's changed her whole mindset, where it's not about the scale. She looks phenomenal, and it doesn't matter what the scale says, even though, of course, it is going lower, but that's not the point. Mm-hmm. The point is, like, she's doing it for the right reason. She feels really good. She's embracing it, and it's not a negative in her life to have to go exercise. Mm-hmm. Oh, I have to fit that in, or I have to do that. It's a want now.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And
we have quite a few clients. That's why I wasn't sure if you were going to know who it was, because we have so many clients who have really gotten into, like, I think in their 40s and 50s now, really gotten into that, embracing the exercise and embracing the feeling of being strong, which I think is like the most important thing you can do when you're in your 40s and 50s, obviously any age, but when you can learn to do that, there's really no better feeling.
Yeah, absolutely. And let me pose a question to you about that, because obviously we're talking about a woman. Mm-hmm. So why do you think it takes, I don't want to say a generalized statement, but I feel like it takes longer for women to kind of open up to the idea of weight training, because obviously, you want to lose weight and you want to just be, your thinnest. But there's a common misconception that I hear a lot when women think that as soon as you talk about weight training, you're going to get bulky, like quote unquote bulky.
Right.
Whereas that's not true, right?
No. And well, of course it's true if you're not eating the right way.
Of course.
Because if you're not eating the right way, you're going to get mass.
Well, obviously, if you're eating the right way and somebody's coming to you, they're eating the right way.
Right.
Whereas, even if someone was coming to you and seeing you every week, if you brought up the idea of weight training, what's the usual response that you've always gotten? Like, I don't want to be bulky.
I don't want that look.
I don't really want to look toned. I don't really want that look.
And 100%.
I feel like there's always been a stigma around,
there
like,
totally
as soon as you
is,
talk about weights.
100%.
You could talk about Pilates, like you can talk about yoga, everything. Like, yoga's great and it keeps you moving. But as soon as you involve the idea of, like, weights,
it's people
touchy,
get scared.
Right? Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you, it's really basically because... Yeah. And you know this because I think you've said this in one of your podcast, in one of the podcasts that we did. We tend to read things, and we see pictures, and we, put that together, and we don't realize there's so much more involved. So, for a long time, women always thought, like, okay, if I weight train, I'm going to get thick.
Yeah.
And yes, of course you will if you're not eating the right things, or you're following some of the stuff where it says you should be eating, 6 to 8 times a day.
Yeah.
Of course you're going to get thick.
Yeah.
But the thing is, there's so much misinformation out there, and I'll tell you, like, a really good thing that from the way beginning when I started, 15 years ago with clients, and a lot of them still come to me and they'll remember this. They would come in and they'd go, okay, I just, I want to lose weight, but like I can't be hungry. And I'd be like, well, then you can't lose weight. But back then, it was like everyone was believing that there was some magic.
What you eat, not how much you eat.
And you can eat 6 times a day. And if I only ate this, I'd be fine. As long as I can eat as much as I want. I can have as many vegetables as I want. Because they're vegetables. They don't count. Like, everything counts. And like, I'd have to go through that and it took a little bit, but people understood, like, yes, of course I'm going to be hungry. I'm eating less than what I'm eating now. That's how I'm losing weight. You know, if it's explained to people, though, they get it. And I would always say, you have to eat less. So if you're eating less, you're going to have moments of hunger, just not going to have them all the time. Yeah. It was the same thing with the weight training. Now, for a long time, my younger clients, even today, I always tell them, do you have to lose weight to see the scale move? No, because your body's running more efficiently for the most part. Yeah. Not for everyone, but for most people who are younger.
Of course.
But if you don't want to be skinny fat, then you should work out. Yeah. Or you should run or do something and
also
keep your
people
tone.
that are younger are typically involved in like sports and
stuff.
Yeah,
right, exactly. But if they're not, I always say, then when you get to that, 40 plus, I would always say, like, you definitely need the weight training because your body's running slower. You need the cardio too because your body's running slower. You have to do both, which is listen, remember, a lot of people in their 40s, it's the first thing that's going to go is the exercise because they're raising young children. Life is busy and it's hard to fit everything in without feeling like you're putting yourself first. And especially as parents today, we tend to not do that. We don't want to put ourselves first, know? So, but the thing is, you have to be in a good space if you want to be, mentally in a good place for your children and take care of them. Yeah. But yes, so to get back to the point, people always thought, because it did look like that, the way things were phrased, if you had to eat all day and you worked out, you were thicker. Yeah. Where most women, especially the women I deal with, they want to be leaner. They want a leaner, thinner look, but you want to be toned, which is the weight training. Yeah.
But it's also things like, clickbait and like just what people advertise as well. Like when we talked about it on the past podcast, like, you told me like, well, I actually said it as well, but I'll add to your point. I remember specifically when I was like 14 and I was starting to work out, like one of the guys that I watched on YouTube or something, I remember he made a joke and he was like, I won't say names, but like I'll just say like he made a joke saying like cardio is actually hardio because it steals your gains. the joke. So I was like, all right, never doing cardio. So,
exactly. Yeah. Meanwhile, it's one of the healthiest things you can do.
On,
yeah.
Like my brain just knew cardio, I'll get smaller. And I don't want to get smaller because I want more muscle.
Right.
So I always stayed away from cardio. And later on, I always found out like, okay, like people that are marathon runners are typically skinny. They don't have a lot of muscle. So I was like, oh, maybe it's true. I started making my own, like, assumptions up. But even like big bodybuilders, like that are gigantic, like you never see them running. And of course, you explained it to me why, and it makes a lot of sense. But not knowing that before, I always just assumed, yeah, they look that good and they don't even run. So why do I need to run? So immediately something gets planted in your head like as a seed.
So true.
And you just run with it and you convince yourself for so many years that you're doing the things that are right for you. Whereas now, like, if anyone cares, I'm down like 6 pounds in a week,
I care.
Yeah, if anyone cares.
It's amazing.
I will say though, can I do a shout out or no?
Sure.
Okay. I'll shout out one of our longest clients, Melanie. She said something funny in the store the other day. She was like, "I'm so happy that you're doing the new program because you finally understand what it's like." and
I love that.
And I want to
She's
tell
so
her
cute.
right now, I have so much respect for her and where she got to now because I'm living it.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
and
wow.
she looks great.
And she looks amazing.
Yeah.
And seeing her and how good she looks, my respect is just through the roof now because of that. And I'm like, wow. Of course I am a man, so, and I'm, little, like I'm 25, so like you said, my body's working more efficiently, obviously, but.
So she's got to work 20 times harder than you.
And I have more respect now. But like, the thing is.
See that, Melanie?
Yeah, the thing is though, like, my number went down significantly in the first week that we started.
Yeah.
And I also feel better.
Yeah.
But I'm also seeing for myself now, like when you just said, you have to kind of explain it to the clients and then, the proof is in the pudding. So as soon as they see it, like, they'll kind of buy in a little more.
Right.
Now that I'm seeing, like, I'm not getting any smaller. If anything, I'm just
kind
of seeing my muscle a little more.
Exactly.
And I'm kind of buying into it now. And I'm kind of,
now he sends me his running routes every night.
I will tell you though, and you're going to be mad at me because you are such an optimist. Like, people don't know I'm like kind of like a minor pessimist sometimes, but like I'm not looking at the positive of like it's working for me. I'm looking at the negative of like I'm so mad at myself for wasting so many years not doing this already. And I'm like, if I could go back and be 14 again, I would have been running, I would have been working out, I would have been eating like this. But I'm sure every client says
yes,
that.
Of course.
Like,
of course.
So what do you like? Treat me like a client.
I would say to you, you don't look back, look forward. Listen, you have so much life ahead of you. What are you even putting your energy towards that?
I know.
Put all that energy towards your run tonight.
Maybe I'll burn a little more calories. You're mad about it. Yeah. No, but shout out
it
Mel.
is
She
good.
looks great.
Yeah, she does look great. And it is hard. And I love that she said that to you. You're experiencing the pain.
Yeah.
But you know what, and again, when we're talking about like when life gets hard, that's a great, actually what you just said. Like you're focusing on what's you could have done.
I know.
Could have, should have, would have.
I know.
You know?
We always
I mean,
want to
like
go back
we say that all the time.
change
I
things.
never want to go back. Ever. I feel like I've done so much. Like I'm always like, okay, what's next? What's next?
Yeah.
But that's the thing, like I feel like you have to like look at your experiences and listen, and not to say that I did not do things not the right way in the past, like of all different things. Everyone does. That's how you learn.
Yeah, like you just said, you were a parent.
Yeah,
I'm still a parent. You
I was like, what?
I'm saying like you were a new parent at one point.
Right,
like you
course.
probably stopped running as much as you did and everything at one point and everything. So, like how did you navigate that?
Well, so I didn't actually. I was actually thinner after I had Johnny, and I gained so much weight. I was so sick with him. I was like, but I also had my next door neighbor at the time had a baby at the same time, and we walked everywhere. We took those strollers. It happened to be, probably nobody will remember this, but 91, that February. Johnny was born in 90, in November. That February 91, it was like 85 degrees every day. It was just the most beautiful time of a winter we had.
Wow.
And we walked every day, everywhere.
Wow.
It was so much fun.
And you said you gained a lot of weight after Johnny?
No, I gained weight while I was pregnant. I gained like 70 pounds because I was so sick.
Isn't that normal, though?
No, like 30 pounds is normal.
Oh.
But when you're sick, you're just like it was terrible. I really was sick like the whole 9 months. And then he topped it off with like, a 20-hour labor.
Sounds like Johnny.
It's amazing I had 2 more.
You don't have to tell me the name. I know who it was.
But it's so funny. I ended up being thinner before I even had him. And I was always thin. But like, again, I don't come from a thin family. My family was always, I'm all Italian. Everything is about food. Your breakfast is talking about lunch, So it's just, I've always worked towards it. That's my point. Yeah. And if I didn't, I would be just like everyone else. It's in my genes, because you really do have to work for it, know. But again, it's like anything. Even when we talk about a positive mindset, you have to work at that. Like, you can't keep letting the negative in. Life is always going to be hard. I don't think we're meant to be put on this earth to just like, have like the easiest day after day. Like no one lives like that. There's always something. You got to pick your battles. Like I always think to myself, I'm happy that the things that are challenging in my life are what they are, because I don't want them to be anything that I couldn't handle, like, and I feel like there's a lot I can handle, But I also know things I can't handle, so I'm glad I don't have to deal with those. Yeah, ever.
Again, count your blessings.
Yeah, count your blessings. Yeah, and it really, when we say life is hard, and I'll tell you a quick story. I don't know if I even ever told you this. But my mom, for I guess the last 10 years of her life, she had where like she couldn't leave the house. Did I ever tell you that?
What is that called?
I forget the scientific name.
I remember talking about it because it's like
I can't think of the name of it.
Hypochondriac?
No, not hypochondriac. It's starts with an A, I think. Let me see if I can look it up. But
basically,
you can't
I remember
leave the house
talking about like she always thought like she would be safest if she stayed home.
Well,
right?
she physically couldn't. She would have such an anxiety attack. Like she thought she was going to have a heart attack.
Wow.
So like she would go into an anxiety attack.
Well, I remember before. No, I don't remember. I wasn't alive. But like I'm saying,
I was going to say, yeah.
Well, I remember us talking about it, and I remember you telling me like it progressively got to a worse point because, like, you would joke about it at sometimes and be like, if I don't leave the house, nothing can hurt me,
That's
why you're
think.
about going to the doctor all the time too now.
All the time,
of course,
I always go.
People think like if you stay home, nothing can hurt you. Meanwhile,
she died of cancer.
Of course,
yeah.
And
I mean, going to the doctor wasn't even a thing because she, and the other side of it too. Like there was a time where I tried for so long to get a doctor to come see her, but back then, I mean, you're talking about you weren't even born. She died before you were born.
Yeah.
So like that's how long ago it was.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't even get somebody to make a house call just to try to give her something that would help her, like maybe Prozac or whatever.
Yeah.
So, but my point is, and the reason why I brought this up is because she really looked at life like listen, life is hard. And I used to tell my mom that all the time. I used to be like, it is hard. And I don't blame you for being afraid to go out there. Mm-hmm. It's scary,
Yeah.
But you kind of have to because this is why we're here. And like she is proof, like what you just said. Mm-hmm. And when she was home, like you would never know anything was wrong with anything. Like you would never know she had this. If you were in the house with her, you would not know anything. She was making sauce. She was, always cooking chicken cutlets. That's what I tell you. Like I could very well have been overweight. It was always a thing, Food was always a thing. But you would never know. Everyone was always over. Mm-hmm. But that's the whole point of it. Like it doesn't mean you're safe. And life is going to be hard, so you just have to you're either going to go through it miserable, and she wasn't miserable. Her way out was just staying in the house. She was happy. But obviously that's not healthy, and it didn't help her because it ended up killing her because she couldn't even get to the doctor. Mm-hmm. But my point is you have to get through. You have to keep going. You have to do the right things for yourself and figure out where and how you can make yourself positive getting through it. Mm-hmm. Because it is hard, and no one said it's supposed to be easy.
Yeah. No, it is really hard. And I mean, like, I don't want to sound like I know, like, it's hard, but like
of course it's hard. You have challenges.
Like everybody has challenges,
Yeah.
but like
every age has challenges. I don't think any age is more than, obviously.
Yeah. Of course, everybody comes from all walks of life.
Yeah.
And like everybody has a different starting point.
Right,
but
exactly. Which
that's
is
the most important thing is everybody
Mm-hmm.
has a different starting point. And like, I don't want to sound like I had it hard because I didn't. I mean, I've been blessed forever. But like, it's different because, I almost think like because I've been so blessed, I almost like there's got to be something, like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I feel like, and no matter where you come from, no matter where you are,
don't
like,
look for things because trust me, you'll find something.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm saying, like, sometimes I feel like it just gets very heavy for a lot of people, like no
it
matter
does,
what. Like,
yeah.
that person in the world, like something is heavy, like, and like what I was saying before, like everybody has, their own origin and stuff. And like, like everyone knows, like I'm an overthinker, it's like, but I mean, now everybody knows, but like, I'm saying, like, I never ever tell anybody, but I'm saying, like, just from the show, like everybody, like, we talk about it sometimes, like, like, I have a tendency to like kind of doubt myself sometimes, but it's one of those things where you don't really want people to know, and it's like, everybody has their own battles.
That's why I say, like, you shouldn't say, like, you do have your own challenges.
Yeah. And
we
I'm
all
not,
do.
like,
We're supposed to, though. That's the point.
And the problem with people is, you don't voice it. Like, you should be open about it because, I mean, I guess it's up to the person because, like, whether or not you're open about it, then you're kind of giving it validity. Whereas if you keep it in, it's not going to do too well for you either. Right.
I think it depends who you're opening up to. Like, I always say, never bring negative attention to yourself.
I just did, but
but that's okay because the thing is, like, what you're talking about, that's not really like you have, like, see what you just said. You have to is a statement you would need to clarify because you self-doubt only on yourself things.
Yeah.
But you never self-doubt anything to do with, like, just say if you're talking to someone about a topic or you're talking, like, you always are so in tune with what you're talking about and you always have all the information. It's just when it comes to yourself, which I think,
I don't know why. I think I'm just very hard on myself.
Like that. I was just going to say that. So,
like, if I'm talking about like sports or like history or some sort of facts that I'm interested in, I'm like preaching almost.
100%. Yeah, exactly.
But then as soon as it's about me, I'm just like kind of lose a little bit of that. I don't want to say faith, but like I kind of lose a little bit of that,
confidence.
Yeah, about it. Like if I'm confident talking about a
subject. But the thing is, you were just talking about, and this is where I think this comes into your overthinking. Okay, we're in a therapy session now. But this is where it comes into your overthinking because when you were just talking about you with the running and your workouts and your eating, you were just saying, I even see the muscle on myself. I even see there's no self-doubt in that. Everything you said was very confident. And you see it, it's there. So maybe you're just self-doubting on things you're not really 100% sure about yet. Sometimes we self-doubt because we really don't know what we want.
Yeah.
So like if you're talking about, like, just say this is out of the blue, but since we did the whole Instagram post on swiping left and swiping right with the girlfriends and stuff.
So fun.
With the food, I mean.
Yeah.
We'll bring this into it and say maybe say when it comes to, like, okay, am I going to meet someone and get married and maybe if you're doubting yourself on that or even thinking about it, it's because you really don't even know what you want yet.
Yeah.
And you don't have to. You're only 25.
Yeah, I wouldn't say that, though. I wouldn't say I don't know what I would want,
Exactly, I mean. I know you know what you want.
Of course, yeah. But I'm saying, like, even to that point, like, I feel like it's so normal to be, like what I'm saying right now to you. I feel like it's so normal for a lot of people.
Okay.
Whereas, like, again, like, I know I can be kind of preachy about this stuff, but, like, I love, the idea of, like, mental health and, like, being very positive and stuff. But I know I can sometimes be the adverse and, like, not be the most positive person. But, like, I I like putting it out there because I feel like it's almost like we're in a very weird part of time right now where like it's almost like okay to talk about it, but like if you talk about it, people look at you differently, you know. It's like a stigma around, like, you know, if you talk about mental health, it's like,
right, yeah,
you know, you're kind of perceived as like weak or something, you know. So I think that's why sometimes like people choose not to talk about it, but it's like it's okay, you know, like to, of course, like our topic right now, like how to get through hard times,
and like, and life
always
is hard.
Keep going.
Yeah,
like,
I just went through the whole thing with my mother. I don't care what anybody
That's
thinks.
why I'm saying, like, if you're going through a hard time, like, life really, like, hard. You know, there's no, like, you can choose to go around it. It just might take longer. But if you embrace it and just go forward with it, it'll be a lot better. So I'm saying, like, you know, like sometimes before you even like wake up and you open your eyes, you immediately still feel like the overwhelm from the day before. And like it's up to you whether or not like you want to carry that through the rest of your day.
Exactly, right.
So I'm saying, like, you know, and you didn't even do anything wrong. You know,
no.
Like you just woke up,
and you might have another challenge that day.
You just wake up, you open your eyes, and immediately you feel overwhelmed because of something personal about you that you are not okay with. But like, you got to give yourself a break almost. And I'm talking to myself, really. Like, you got to give yourself a break almost because like, what did you do wrong? You existed. You know, like everybody's got their own thing.
Everyone's got their own thing. And I think what I'm going to add to that is
it's really like what you said, how much attention you bring to yourself. Think about it the same way with what you're going through.
Right.
Never bring attention to any of your negatives, but also in your own head, never bring attention to any of the things that you're dealing with. Like, whatever voice you have in your head that's like doubting you or telling you the other thing, like, just don't give it the ears, you know?
Right.
Like, don't let it, like,
don't
let
give
it
it a
heard.
Voice. Don't get it. Yeah, exactly.
Then it'll just slowly, hopefully, I'm still waiting, but like, it'll fade away, you know? Like, hopefully,
so
you know.
Funny. But what I was going to say before, too, is like, because you do have to remember, and this is the unfortunate thing, we live in a world full of people who love to judge other people.
Exactly.
And they judge other people because they don't want to look at themselves.
Exactly.
And it's one thing I've always said. Yeah. I don't gossip and I never judge. Yep. I don't like it. I hate to say this, probably why I didn't have girls. I don't know if that's good or not, but
yeah, well, that's my whole point.
I don't like it. I don't like the drama of it. I don't like people, like, there's just so many things that you could have and put in a positive that don't judge other people when you don't even know what their situation is. You know, you don't even know what they're thinking. You don't know what they're going through. You don't know if they have a family illness. You don't know if there's this. Everyone just jumps to judge people. Oh, why they do that? Why they think that? Oh, they're crazy or this or that. Like, you don't know. So don't judge. Like, everyone should use all that energy and focus it on their own lives of just trying to be a better person. And when we talk about that, we say, like, okay, we're trying to get through life. Everybody's life has challenges. Yes, there should be, hopefully, if we're lucky enough to have a lot of great moments. A lot of times we have to make those moments. We have to be happy, and we have to, you know, spend the time with people we love and we care about. But those, it's almost like getting from one happy picture to the next, they say. Like, you have to create those moments. And in between those pictures that everyone posts, there's challenges that no one sees. Yeah. And that's where you have to just keep going. And you can't worry about people who judge or the drama they want to put in your life, or that's why you don't bring negative attention to it, because you don't really need or want their opinion. You have to do this stuff on your own. Yeah. You have to figure it out on your own, you know?
It's funny. I'll say,
except with the people you love, of course.
I'll leave everybody with my quote for today.
I love this.
There's a reason why your family albums and every picture album you have and everything you post on social media is all positive things. Nobody keeps any photo albums of them crying in their worst moments. Like, oh, you got broken up with? Let's take a picture. Like,
exactly.
Like, oh, you failed your test or whatever.
Right. Yeah.
Oh, let's add it to the album.
Let's remember this moment.
Yeah, let's add it to the album. Like, you didn't lose weight this week? Let's take a picture. Smile.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, no.
It's true. 100%. You only see the happy moments. And listen, those happy moments hopefully are real, and you created those, but in order to get to that next one, there's always a
Yeah.
challenge, and we have to remember that. All right, so we're going to leave you with that because we're at the end of our show, and we hope this helps.
Absolutely. And if you have any questions or topics you want us to talk about, you can always DM us on social media. And please remember to stop in at Innovation 8025 Jericho Turnpike, Woodbury, New York, or you can visit our website, innovationhealthymarket.com, or you can call 516-802-5055. We're open 7 days a week. We're always there to help you with your shopping, orders, weight loss needs. When you come in, ask for me. I'll be happy to show you around the store, or if you're looking for a one-on-one plan, I can make your first free consultation appointment with Josephine.
Have a great day, everyone.